What's up guys, this is DJ Reckless, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Mixtrack Pro 3. It's quite a new controller. There's not too much that's been documented about it, so I thought I'd add to what's out there, see what you guys think. It's a lot more professional looking. They've added these steel platters, which are really nice to use, nice to touch. They're a lot better than the previous ones. Quite a big thing is that they've added these much longer pitch sliders. They are 100 millimeters as opposed to the previous ones, which were a lot shorter. They're really hard to use. These ones are very precise, and I've actually started using Tractor because they work so well on Tractor. The actual decks were designed for Serato, as you can see by the logo over there. And it comes with Serato Intro, and they are fully upgradable to the Serato DJ, but you obviously have to pay, and I think they actually are designed for the full version and then work really well with the full version. I've got the full version of Tractor, and they work really well with Tractor as well. So if you look at the top here, they've got this touchpad over here, and this is really interesting. Very new kind of technology in terms of DJ equipment, and essentially what this thing does is it has multiple functions. If I press these buttons, it turns on an effect, and you can actually just pan and slide the effect. And if you look over here, they've moved these performance pads. They're now at the bottom, which is actually a lot easier to use, although I do find myself occasionally bumping them, but that's just something I'm gonna have to get used to, because I do think they're better down here. And they have like a whole bunch of different functions as well. You can change the looping, so you can just put it onto manual loop or auto loop using this. Manual loop, auto loop, and then a sampler as well. Another thing that I think they added, which is pretty cool, is this sound filter button. It's just below the EQ over here. It can actually give you an example of how it works, and it does your LPF, your low pass function, and your high pass function on each side. So it's pretty cool for DJing. The layout's changed. I mean, the scratch function you can turn on and off with this button, so you can have it coming, or you can just speed up and slow down the song for beat matching, which you can still do if you just touch the side piece here. But yeah, it's quite useful. One thing that I thought they'd removed, and I was quite sad about, because I really liked it, is Numark they put in an extra button, which was a stutter button, which essentially Q played it. So instead of having to go Q play, Q play, Q play, you could just hit stutter, 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 stutter. Then I realized that the stutter button is still here. The play button actually acts as a stutter if you hold down shift, which is quite cool. I would prefer having an assigned stutter button, but it's still there. They haven't taken it away. A really nice track selector here, works pretty well. Here, up, down, moves it quite nicely, and then there's two buttons which will load it onto deck A or load onto deck B, and then you can just hit play, and then now I've got two of the same songs playing, so that sounds a bit weird. So obviously there's a whole bunch of functions that they've kept in, and one which I really liked is that they've kept two headphone jacks, and 1/4 inch and then one standard. So if you have either, you can actually use it. You see I've got an adapter on my headphones, and you can just plug it in there, or you can just have it in there, and you can have two people listening at the same time if you like, doing back-to-back DJing, which is pretty cool. And it's loud enough to power both of them. I mean, this thing goes really loud. If you crank up the gain on the headphones, it really can get quite loud and deafening. There it is, guys. Mixtrack Pro 3. It's got everything that you need from an entry-level controller, going from like new platters. It looks a lot better. It really is responsive, and I would say you know, for an entry or mid-level controller, it's a great buy, really good value for money if you're looking at the price range. Yeah, so